checked it and primed it and tried to remember the last time I'd fired it. The snow began falling near noon. By 1 o'clock, the visibility was down to 0. I tried to contact Bossio to tell him to hurry. He didn't answer. I figured he was probably drunk or sleeping it off. I suppose I should have been out organizing some kind of defense, inspiring everybody with grim, lantern-jawed courage. But as a matter of fact, my jaw is somewhat slack, and I'm not strong on courage. So I took a belt from the bottle and considered things. The tension was beginning to get me. After 20 years of hanging around and playing like the town drunk, a man can't be expected to rush out and plug the breach just like that. You have to work up to these things gradually. I suppose there was something to me originally, but I lost it. I lost it in 20 years of idiotic garrison spit and polish in saloons and the icy looks and choice words that civilians save for peacetime soldiers. I had half the bottle killed when Rosso came back to see me.
Captain, I just can't make any sense of this. Who cut that wire?
Well, as far as I can figure, an alien cut it.
No, there haven't been any aliens or any peculiar animals near this camp. We've got planet-wide radar, and there have been no unidentified ships since the first landing a year ago. One of us must have done it. It's the only possible explanation.
You mean a traitor?
Or a dupe. Maybe the aliens can exert some kind of telepathic control.
I can't see it. If they're able to control one, why not all and save half the bother? Now, look, is there any animal that ever comes near here that's as large as a dog?
Well, there's a vigil. It's like a monkey with 4 legs. We shoot them now and then when they get into the crops. We're going to post sentries. Do you want to place them?
Well, you know this site better than I do. Post them in a ring within calling distance, huh?
Dylan, what are they like, the aliens? Do you know?
No, I don't think anybody does. We don't know what they look like, or what they think like, or where they come from.
Do you think they've landed yet?
Don't know. With this snow coming down, they could be out there in the woods right now, and we'd never know.
Planet Director 7396 recording progress report on attack day. Physical situation excellent. Headquarters bunker 10 feet underground. Electrical heating apparatus running smoothly. View screens operating. Human colonists' activity not according to pattern. 8 humans have taken up watch positions on the perimeter of the colony. Original plan was for attack at night, but presence of Earth vessel dictates change in plans. The humans move quickly. They might be gone by nightfall. It will be necessary to disable their ship, proceeding on this alternate plan.
At noon, Rossell reported that Planet 2 didn't answer his call. Bossio might be drunk, but the colony on 2 wouldn't be. If there was no answer, it was because they were dead. The people were quiet and frightened. Some of the women were beginning to cry. They brought me coffee now. It had begun to dawn on the women that they might be leaving without their husbands or sons. They had their ships stripped down and they were loading. The ones that were going stood outside and stripped off their clothes. Cold weather gear of 40 people weighed enough to get a few more on board. In the end, the ship took 46 people. When they were all loaded and they cleared the landing field and the hatches closed. You could hear the generators surge for a lift. But then there was a sharp burning smell and she never got off the ground.
Dylan?
Over here under the tree. What happened?
The lining's burned out. She's being repaired.
How long will it take to fix?
4 or 5 hours.
Oh, it'll be dark by then. It seems like they want to wait till the dark.
Probably aren't many of them.
Might mean that, or maybe they see better at night, or maybe they move slow. You got any idea how they got to the ship?
No.
You know, I've been in the Army 20 years. This is the first time I was ever in a fight. I never shot at anybody. I always figured I'd be afraid. Well, there doesn't seem to be any sense in being afraid. There's nothing to do but wait until night comes. I sat there thinking of Bossio. He was dead. There wasn't much doubt of that. Probably died dead drunk and not giving a solitary hoot. I stared out into the snow and thought the same thought over and over. Bossio is dead. Bossio is dead. In all this dog-eared, ape-run universe, he was about the only friend I had, and so naturally he was dead. Dead because he tried to come out here to help these people. People who cursed him and called him a drunk, which he was, and a brawler, which he was when somebody crossed him. But he was the one who came to help. And in short time, I'd be staying behind so that some colonist could jam himself aboard my ship and lift out to safety. And I'd die to save somebody I didn't even know. Somebody who 24 hours before would be ashamed to be found in my company. They come to an army for help too late. An army like me, sodden and not knowing whether they can fight or not.
Dylan.
What?
Over there at the edge of the woods. Something moving. You can see it through the snow.
Look out. How far do you make it to that tree?
About 50 yards.
50 yards.
There it is, you see, by the bush.
50 yards, no wind, half charge. I have a feeling I'm forgetting something. Well, here goes.
You got it!
Get down. Maybe more of them. Wait and see.
I saw it clear when it jumped. It was one of those monkeys.
Maybe. We'll see. I waited 10 minutes and then I ran over. Whatever it was gone, almost all of it. My bolt had taken a paw and taken it clean off. I picked it up, but there was no blood. The skin was real and furry, all right, but the bone was steel and the muscles were springs. It wasn't any four-legged monkey. It was a robot.
Planet Director 7396 recording progress report on attack day. Due to component tube failure, small robot unit out of control. Wandered towards settlement. Took calculated risk with poor seeing due to snow that humans would overlook it and still think of it as an animal, even firing with ports open. But a part of the robot is missing and the humans have found it. There will be no chance to disable the smaller ship now. In order to carry out total destruction, the settlement will have to be detonated. The settlement will have to be bombed from previously planted locations. I will have to leave control bunker for a more distant position as soon as protective armor is put on. I will proceed to carry out this plan. I realize this is not the ideal operation. It is more disciplined to capture humans and their equipment undamaged, but total destruction is necessary. For further operations, recommend duplication of essential controls on robots. The procedure of planting them on worlds before colonization by humans in the shape of local animals demands perfect operation when attack day arrives, or the resident director planted at the same time on each world will be unable to carry through attack plans. Now leaving bunker.
That's how they got the ship, all right. Probably slipped a vigil through the aft port and left it in there to foul the lining. Wonder what else they've got.
Well, probably all kinds of things. Must have been some kind of lizard that went under and cut the wire.
A spicer lizard. They can burrow underground. And we've got a bat that could do aerial reconnaissance for them.
Well, they know everything about you, and we don't know anything about them. They're probably sitting out there right now, swarming behind those trees, waiting for it to get nice and dark. All right, you better get back to the others and tell them I'll stay here.
Why?
Because we only need one. If we could just get one back to a lab, we'd have some clue to what they are. We can't just cut and run. We got to make a stand.
I didn't think the Army made stands. I thought they just pulled out.
Yeah, I suppose so. An army does what it has to, and ours is weak and filled with men like me. But even so, there comes a time when you have to make a stand. I stayed out there in the snow. I wasn't thinking very calmly. It was too cold. But it was probably just as well. I put in about 10 minutes being afraid of whatever it was that was behind those trees. What I needed was luck. Just good, plain old luck. I didn't know where they were or how many there were or what kind, so I needed luck. I started to inch forward in the snow. There was nothing but quiet and the trees. I got past the first trunk. My elbow hit a rock and it hurt. My feet were cold. And then I heard a noise. The thing was moving down the left side of a gorge up ahead. I got up on my knees, I blew on my fingers, and threw the charge level on my pistol over to full. It was a great black lump on a platform. The platform had legs and was plodding up a path that came right past me. It hadn't seen me yet, but it would. There were 5 of those little monkeys skipping on before it, acting as eyes. Then one of them spotted me and started running. My first shot took the monkey in the head, and then I aimed for the lump on the platform. They got one blast off before I hit anything vital. It burned across my shoulder, my shirt charred. It felt as if I'd been hit in the arm with an axe. Nothing else moved. The monkeys were stiff like statues, and the platform was on its side. Through a hole in the black lump, something gray and soft was oozing out. I looked around and saw the robots frozen, and I realized I'd got him. I'd hit the guide, the alien who was directing the robots. I kicked at it with my foot. It was too big and heavy to carry. I'd have to send someone back for it. But I wanted to take something, so I grabbed one of the monkeys by his stiff, jutting arm and began to drag it back to the village. We put the alien in a freeze tank and shipped it back to Earth. They learned a lot in the lab, but out there in the colony, we learned a lot more. We learned that man wasn't born to live out his days at home by the fire. In the wee black corner of space which man had taken for his own, other men were learning. And the snow fell and the planets whirled, and when it was spring, where I had fought, men were already leaping back out to the stars.
You have just heard X-1, presented by the National Broadcasting Company in cooperation with Galaxy Science Fiction Magazine, which this month features The Native Problem by Robert Sheckley, in which a misfit discovers that there is not plenty of room in space for his kind, that in fact there is less room in space for him than anywhere else. Galaxy Magazine, on your newsstand today. Tonight, by transcription, X-1 has brought you Soldier Boy, a story from the pages of Galaxy written by Michael Shera and adapted for radio by Ernest Kenoy. Featured in the cast were Larry Haynes as Dillon, Ralph Bell as Bossio, Alan Hewitt as Russell, Bob Hastings as the shore patrolman, Wendell Holmes as the colonel, and Kermit Murdoch as the alien. Your narrator was Floyd Mack. This is Fred Collins speaking. X-1 was directed by Daniel Sutter and is an NBC Radio Network production.
One of the best, one of the most popular programs on radio. That's You Bet Your Life with Groucho Marx. And here's a reminder. Now Groucho can be heard on Saturdays, and he's on at a time when every member of the family, from Junior to Grandpa, can join in the laughter that goes with each question and answer session. A new day, a new hour, but the very same fun and good times that have made Groucho and You Bet Your Life so popular throughout the years. Have you ever met a hamburger king or an earthworm farmer or a famous beauty contest winner? Well, these are some of those who have appeared as Groucho's guests. Who will be his guests tomorrow? Well, that's a secret, but you can bet your life they'll be full of fun and surprises. Have you ever heard Groucho sing his classic Captain Spaulding or throw a romantic line at a pretty girl? Well, listen in and you'll find out. Hear music in the Morgan manner. Russ Morgan, live, weekday mornings on NBC Bandstand.
Good morning, weirdos. What's up? What's going on, dudes? Oh, man. I'm ready for coffee. I don't know about you, but I'm ready for coffee. I'm not ready for it until this camera goes on. And boy, then I am ready for it. How the hell are you? How the heck are you? I'm just trying to get situated here so I can drink my coffee. Gonna drink my coffee here. And if somebody shows up, I'll talk ELO, man. We'll talk about some fucking ELO, man. Anybody there? Want to talk about some ELO, man? 76-year-old Jeff Lynne out there on stage. My goodness. You know, it don't mean as much when you're young. You see them old guys up on stage and go, oh, geez, why don't you retire? But when you're old and you see old guys up on stage, you're going, yeah, old guys. Woo. Right? What do you know? What do you know? What do you say? So, yeah, I did a nighttime show last night. It was pretty good. I did all Whispering Jack Smith songs, which was really cool. I got to hear a lot of cool stuff, as well did those who listened. And if you didn't listen, check it out in the playlist. It's good stuff. I've even got it set up in the description, or the title description thing there. And I mentioned that this is all about Whispering Jack Smith. And I think I'll do that some more. I think I'll do some episodes dedicated to others. Harold Scrappy Lambert, for instance. Yeah. I didn't realize that the Light Crust Doughboys were later. I didn't realize that they were more toward the 40s. Late 30s, early 40s, 50s, that kind of stuff. I think the song that I have is like from the 40s. So I don't know that we'd be playing a whole lot of Light Crust Doughboys. But maybe we can expand our repertoire there, so to speak, right? Right? And I God, no way. What am I doing at nighttime? The usual. Screwing around here on the computer. Hanging out here with my wife, watching MacGyver. Not the new MacGyver, the old MacGyver. That new MacGyver dude sucks. What a dweeb. And watching some Barnaby Jones. Old Barnaby Jones. Not that young. No, there ain't no young Barnaby Jones. But that would be stupid to try to remake. Oh, wait, that's what they do. They have no imagination, so they just keep remaking and rebooting and rehashing. Like, maybe we just want to see something new. Not something borrowed. Right? Oh my God. Oh my God. No friggin' away. So yeah, I wish my old acquaintance from college would contact me here. Carrie Ann. I have something for you. And if you could shoot me a message, I'd be happy to send this to you. It's a little ELO disc, 45, Fire on High. It's purple. It's purple. You see that? You see it's purple. It's purple. It's a cool 45, and I loved her story about going with her mom in '77 and seeing. And I thought this would be a great thing to give to her, and an 8-track there. So contact me. I don't want to send you a personal message because we're not that close. But I will send you a link and a comment. Right? Because that's the kind of guy I am. So send me a comment. or a message. Totally. If you're there. If you're not, then you don't even know I'm saying this, right? It's just, it might as well just be air. It might as well just be air. I could use some air. Ah, jeez. Ah, for the love of Pete. Ah. I almost didn't show up today. I almost decided, you know what? Maybe I would just rather sleep. And I hit the snooze at 4:20 and laid there going back to sleep, and then all of a sudden something stirred inside of me, and I just woke up, shot out of bed, came in here and found that my computer needed to be, I don't know, rebooted. I had to do a reinstall on my AMD processor, which happens regularly. It hasn't happened in a while, but it does happen at least a couple of times a month. It was happening once a week. And now it's just a pain in the arse. Just pops up every once in a while and says, this thing's not going to work right unless you reinstall this thing. And then I sit here for an extra 15 minutes in the morning scrambling, hoping I can get it done before showtime, and then I do. Because I give myself that extra half hour to do my opening show, to play a radio show, to do that and this and the other. Sometimes I just wonder what it would be like if I just sat here and drank coffee and smoked like I did in the very first episode, season 1, where I just had an empty room and I just sat here in a chair. I didn't have a table. I didn't have anything. I had to find something, a box or something to put my coffee on the first morning. It was weird. Maybe I'll just go back to doing that. Just sitting here drinking and smoking. I'll just do that until somebody shows up and says, "Hi, good morning. What do you do here?" I wait. I wait for somebody to show up so I can talk. Sometimes I just talk. But sometimes I like to just sit here and wait for somebody to show up and leave a comment to say, "Hey, I'm here. Good morning. Talk to me." But yeah, it's quite obvious nobody either wants to or is even awake at this time, right? So you're either asleep, you're getting ready for work, you're on your way to work, you're at work. Well, that's cool. Go for it, man. I don't do that anymore, man. I'm real tired. I mean, retired. Yeah. I'm broken. I have no choice but to be retired. I am so broken. So totally broken. And my brother, he don't get it. He don't get it. He thinks he gets it, but he don't get it. I'm broken because I'm me. I'm not him. I'm not somebody else. I'm me. Everybody ages differently. Everybody has different health. Everybody has different issues. We both shared most of the same nutrition growing up, right? Which explains some of his poor health, but it explains a lot of my poor health. I spent more time living with that diet that I grew up with. You get up, you move out of the house, you move in with friends and people and stuff, and you learn other ways of eating and dieting and stuff. And sometimes it sticks, Like my brother, he's like the hot dog king, right? That ain't good. You can't just eat hot dogs all the time. You can't just eat processed meats all the time. I mean, I know I'm like a poster boy for what happens to people when they eat too much crap, right? You get some kind of disease and you die. It's not a disease. It's called pollution. You know, we pollute our bodies with these horrible processed foods. You know, and our bodies just are like, whoa, what the fuck are you doing, man? This ain't natural. This ain't real. This ain't organic. This ain't food. What do you do? You don't even feed this to your dog, but you're gonna eat it? God, are you stupid? Yeah, pretty much. That's what happens. So, yeah. I mean, all I can do now at this point is to make sure that my daughter has the knowledge to not grow up eating the same crap. So we really, really try to make home-cooked meals from scratch. And to use as many, you know, unprocessed and organic and whole foods as possible, right? Mom's real good about that. She's real good about making real food. Last night she grilled up some chicken breast, made pasta, Alfredo, and leftover chicken we've got for chicken salad sandwiches, you know. That's real food. No school for my Natalie today. So she'll be doing, I think she'll be doing online classes today. Oh, that's right. She's got an online class that gets out just before her hair appointment, so she had to change her hair appointment. That's like that. It'll be like the third or fourth hair appointment this week, right? Pretty cool. Pretty cool. I love how she's such her own person. You know. I just try to be a good positive influence. That's it. I try not to program her with my likes and dislikes and wants and desires and that kind of stuff. That's, you know, it's okay to raise your kids, but, you know, don't program them to be you. You know, just let them, just organic, just let them be, just let them grow. You know, if you're doing your job right, all you got to do is keep them from kind of going astray, right? If you're doing your job right, you don't have to freak out. You don't have to want your kids out of the house at 18. You don't have to, you know, hate your kids. Yeah, I'm just, wow. Well. Yeah, well, I think I've done my part gathering all of the songs I can for Whispering Jack Smith. We didn't even use all the shows that I gathered yesterday. I mean, all the songs. We didn't use all of the songs that I gathered for the show. We used 16 songs, and a few of those were repeats. So, I think I'll just do that. I think I'll just jump in and grab, you know, as many songs as I can by one artist and then just throw them into the mix. And then when I do that, when I grab all of that artist, then I'll do a show about that artist, right? Because I will have, it'll be fresh. And putting little hash marks next to the titles of songs that are really, really crisp and clean and clear recordings, that helps. That helps plan out a nice sounding show. Ha. Jeez. Mm-hmm. Oh, man. Can't do it anymore. The second thing that I say to myself every morning when I wake up, the second, is shake your booty. The first thing that I say to myself every morning when I open my eyes is, you're getting too old for this shit. But shake your booty. That's it. What are you going to do? Not shake your booty? If you've got the ability to shake your booty, shake your booty. You know, do it. If you have the ability to laugh, laugh. If you got nothing to laugh about, laugh anyway. Throw yourself up against a wall, bend over, and come up laughing. And laugh and laugh and laugh. And ha-ha yourself until you actually start laughing for real. It works. Believe me, it works. I've done this. My doctor has prescribed laughing. But Doc, all I do is laugh. You ain't laughing enough, man. Laugh some more. Yes, sir. Yes, sir, doctor, sir. All right. He was a chiropractor. But he was a really, really good doctor. And a really good mentor and human. I don't even know if he's around anymore. His wife passed away a few years ago, and he retired to take care of her. And while I've sent him messages and stuff, I just don't know. I hope he's okay. I would imagine that if his wife passes away, he may move to India, which is not where he's from. He's from a Southern California guy, but he spends a lot of time in India and around the world. And India, I believe, is his favorite place. So he may wind up there, And if he does, good on you, mate. Yeah. So anyway, oh my God. Ricky Lee and Bobby Sue. Oh, Ricky. Oh, Ricky, you're so sticky. You're so icky and so gicky. Oh, Ricky. There we go. Opening up a cereal bar. Opening up a cereal bar. Gonna eat a cereal bar. What? Because I gotta get food in me. Hello. I gotta. Gotta do it. Uh-huh. Oh my God, no way. Alright, Throwback Thursday. We're gonna make more pipes. Arts and Crafts Day. So on Thursday, let's be sure to bring an aluminum can and a nail. Small nail, finished nail would work. Maybe a pair of pliers. Yeah. Now, you can also bring a to-do and some foil and some tape and scissors, and we'll make one of these puppies, one of these old smokerators here. I just used it last night. Had a good hitting pipe. You can use a toilet paper to-do. Does anybody else call them to-dos? The little cardboard tubes? I call them to-dos because when I go to the tube at my dog, they all freak out. They want to eat the to-do. Give me the to-do. Give me it. Give me it. Like, oh man, Sam. If I to-do at him, he's just crazy about the to-do. Aren't you? I love to-dos. Anybody say to-do? To-do. What's really cool is when you go to-do. That's it. Oh, like the dogs are going to start freaking out. Hey, is he to-dootin'? Is he to-dootin'? Uh-huh. I totally am. So Thursday, Throwback Thursday, Arts and Crafts Day. Bring stuff. Bring an apple if you want. Not for me. I might be the teacher, but don't bring it for me. We'll use it for arts and crafts. You can use a 2-gallon bucket and a 2-liter bottle of Coke. Make a gravity bong. Now, if you have any bamboo, any big bamboo, really wide mouth bamboo, yeah, I remember when I was young, I made some great pipes out of bamboo. There's always bamboo growing wild in Southern California in different places. We've got it right here in the park somewhere. Not real big bamboo, but I was able to get some really big bamboo when I was young. And it was pretty big circumference, pretty big diameter of bamboo. And it's got those stoppers in it every foot or so, depending on how long it is. You've got these stoppers in the bamboo, right? And it makes an actual container, a piece of bamboo. You can cut it outside each of the stops and put a little hole in it and a cork, and you've got an actual container, a vial, a bottle, right? A canteen. You can make bamboo water bottles, right? But you can also make a really cool pipe or bong. You can make a pipe or a water bong. You can make like a flute type with one open end, you know, and then a hole. Now sometimes you can screw in a little metal bowl. Sometimes you have to create a bowl out of something. You can create a bowl out of foil that stands above the bamboo and then shoots into a hole in the bamboo, and then you can use the foil to wrap it and seal it, right, and crinkle it around. This is possible. And then you can also use a little bit of tape. I try to avoid tape on the bowl. You can use hot glue, but again, avoid it on the actual places where it gets hot or burns. Foil is okay. Foil can be used a few times before it burns out. You've got to replace the foil. But neat about foil is that you can leave it all like this, right? And rather than pull all of it off and put it all back on again, you can just clean out the little hole where you need to replace the foil, and then just put another little piece of foil in there with some little holes in it, and now you got a new screen and a new bottom inside your bowl. Bada bing bang boom. Ain't that special? Yeah, special. Totally. Somebody poked me on Facebook Messenger, or on Facebook, somewhere, someone like that. Someone poked me. An old friend. But I don't like being poked. I don't like being poked in real life, and I don't like being poked in Facebook. I didn't poke you. Why are you poking me? And part of the application probably told that person, hey, you haven't poked this person in a while. Poke this person. Okay, I'll poke this person. I don't get it. I don't get people who follow directions from a frickin' algorithm. I don't understand. They're called suggestions, right? But isn't it ultimately just a way to program you, right? Oh my God, he's going on about that again. Well, if you don't see that you're being programmed, then you're programmed. You're programmed not to see that you're being programmed. Not my fault if you can't wake up. You know, unapologetic. It's not my fault. If you can't wake up, you don't want to wake up. Period. You don't want to wake up. You like being told what to do, how to do it, when to do it, why to do it. You love being asleep at the wheel. All right. I don't understand, but all right. I don't bloody well get it. Marsh and Sam. Well, yeah. I honestly don't understand how people just let these telephones, these smartphones, control them, right? I mean, people wake up in the morning and the first thing they do is start swiping. They open their eyes and they're looking at a fucking screen and they're swiping. They're looking at messages, texts, stupid fucking video. Wake up out of a dead fucking sleep and start looking at fucking videos, right? What does the fucking world come to? People just have no respect for themselves anymore. How could you possibly think that they would even fathom the concept of having respect for somebody else, right? Piss on them. Don't get between me and my fucking algorithm, right? Too much. Another post-it done. Anybody want to buy old stuff? Anybody want to buy any old stuff? I could use a few bucks. I've got to get a what do you call it? External hard drive. I need a really, really beefy external hard drive with multi-terabytes in it. Yeah, these laptops only have about a half a terabyte of storage, and nowadays that ain't shit. Both computers are full. Actually, I think this computer has a little under a terabyte, and this one has a little under half a terabyte. When they're empty, they're both full. This one's got a couple of hundred gigabytes left, and this one's got, maybe 20 gigabytes left. I've got a couple of hundred gigabytes left on my external hard drive, but I could chew that up in such short amount of time, especially if I start bringing stuff off of YouTube, which I need to do. I need to get a really badass external hard drive, and I need to start downloading my videos, my live videos from YouTube, and bring them home and store them. Because ultimately all of this stuff is for my daughter, so that when she doesn't have me around anymore, she can still have me around. Because nobody ever plans for that, right? I'm here now, and we're doing stuff, making memories, having fun, and stuff. But when I'm gone, I'm just gone, right? People all of a sudden are just gone, and it's like, where did that person go? How come there's nothing left behind of that person, Well, I don't want that to be. I want there to be plenty of me left behind, It won't be the same as me being here, not by a long shot, but I can still be here. I mean, there's a lot of questions that I'm answering in these videos. You just have to watch them in order to garner those answers, right? I'm going to heat this up, sweeten and heat. face. Big girl. I'm no longer alone. I got a big dog with me now. Alright, no wedgie, no wedgie, no wedgie. Oh, Lord. Lord. Oh, man, I am rotten on the inside. He's a horrible person. Not that kind of rotten. I was when I was younger. I was a horrible person. You know, you are how you're raised. You're raised by wolves, you're a fucking wolf. I felt like a sheep raised by wolves, but, you know, what are you going to do? Oi. I guess until you've lived my life exactly in my shoes from my point of view, you can't really comment on how I comment about my past. Because it ain't your fucking past, so don't even comment on it. Even if you were there, it ain't your past, it's my past. I see it my way, you know. So, therefore, I see things and feel things about my past that others are going to see differently. Especially those who weren't really fucking there and want to come along there and go, how dare you say that about that person? Were you there? Well, no. Well, then shut the fuck up and go away. Period. Right? Were you me living in that experience? No, you were you living in that experience. So therefore, you have your own way of thinking about it. And that's fine. But let me have my fucking way of thinking about it, right? I retrospect my own way. You do yours, I'll do mine. You may see a beautiful, glorious past. I see garbage. I see shit. A lot of lessons learned. Would I change it? Probably not. I mean, what am I going to do? What am I going to change it to be somebody else, and then now I'm somebody else, right? My father used to do that. What if I had married Diana, this redheaded girl back in high school? You'd be a redheaded kid with her. I said, no, I wouldn't. Some other kid would be a redheaded kid, and you'd have somebody else, and I would never have existed. Why do you say these things, right? What if your name was Norton? Well, it ain't. You gave me this stupid fucking name. You should have let me grow up and, you know, here's Aught 1, you know, Aught 2 and Aught 3. Decide what your name is going to be when you decide that you want to decide, right? Now I'm going to stick with Aught. Right? Aught. That should be my name, Aught. Hey, life ain't perfect. Right? Like it's supposed to be. Yeah. You know, we all have our own conception of what's going on, past, present, future. And when somebody else comes along and says, you're not allowed to see it like that, you have to see it like this, see it how I see it, because if you don't, then you're an asshole. That's basically pretty much what it is, right? You offend someone's sensibilities or emotions or their vision of their past. Well, that's fine. It's your fucking vision of your fucking past. Don't come in and try to fucking tell me how to see my past, right? And then, you know, of course, don't show up and then claim to understand, you know, me through the eyes of that person, because that person never fucking knew me and never will and never did and never tried. You know, that person had their own way of thinking about me, seeing me, understanding me. Had nothing to do with me. It was all them, right? It's always all them. The way I see the world is all me. It has nothing to do with anybody else. I can try to talk my daughter or someone else into seeing the way I see the world. It's never going to happen, right? They're always going to see it from their point of view. No matter how much of you put into their point of view, it's still going to be their fucking point of view. So don't come along and try to manipulate someone into seeing it from your point of view, because that ain't never gonna fucking happen. Ain't ever gonna fucking happen. Not 100%, not 50 fucking percent. Probably not even 2 fucking percent. You want 2%? Go get yourself some watered down milk. I just don't get it. You know, how dare he say that about that person? Oh my gosh, that person's dead. They can't even defend themselves. They had their fucking chance. You know, it's not my fucking fault they're gone. It's not my fault they were assholes. It's not my fault that they never woke the fuck up and saw what they were doing to people. You know? Selfish, narcissistic fucking world. Oh my god, it's all about me. Oh, it's all about you, it's all about you, but really it's all about me. I'm gonna say it's about you, but it's really about me. Yep. There you go. Yeah, I got stuck with like a million fucking questions, right? Or is there anyone out there that can give me answers now? Nope. You know, it's like, rather than explain things to me so that I wouldn't have to wonder, right? Now I'm stuck wondering, and I'll never get an answer. Ever. Could have told me back then, when I could have had some back and forth and some understanding. But now I'm just left out in the cold. I don't know what the fuck's going on. I can't claim to understand why. Only that I got the short end of the stick. I don't know why. I don't know why I swallowed a fly. Perhaps I'll cry. Yep. Anyways. So like, oh my god. It's just a little bit of nose maintenance there. Too much cocaine. Too much cocaine in my diet. Yeah, I wish. I think I'm going to do that. What, cocaine? Well, maybe. No. Put together a kit. You know, like you got first aid kits, right? And some people have a spiritual kit with them, right? They've got a cross and a Bible or whatever their religion paraphernalia is called for, right? You know, some people have their little rig kit. I got a little smoking kit, right? I keep a little secrets box with papers and matches and roach clip in it, right? So everybody's got their little kits, you know. A little fanny pack with your daily stuff, a purse, a day bag, whatever, backpack. Everybody's always got little kits with them. I think I want to make an EOL, right? An EOL kit, end of life kit, and just put together a few things that you would want to have in your moment of departure, so to speak. So I would want to have some music, right? So that if I'm not at home and it's my moment of departure and I have time to realize that it is that moment, then I can kind of prepare for it, right? With me, spiritually would probably mean, I'm going to say more about music and nature. So to have some really, really positive, loved music, right? I don't know what that would be. I mean, I've got so many, you know, there's so many records that I would want played on my way out. I don't know. I guess probably Paul Simon's Greatest Hits, the first one. That's a really good one. That's got a lot of my favorite Paul Simon music on it. Redbone Potlatch, Chicago 10. Let's see. Oh, the Beatles. Maybe Revolver. Now ELO. I'm gonna say ELO Time, maybe. Secret Messages. Those are good. The Best of ELO. But along with that, I would want to put photographs or maybe video of family and friends. Photographs or video of special moments that I would want to kind of look at as I'm kind of fading away. Now, in the fading away, also in that kit, I would want to have feel-good stuff, not just things to kind of enjoy, pictures and music and video, but also I would want to feel good on my way out, especially if there's pain involved. So I'm thinking really, really good marijuana, right? Something sealed up that could just be opened up and enjoyed without having to do much to it, right? I don't think I would want to do an edible, because I think that would just make me pass out and then fade away in my sleep, which would be okay, right? But not right away. I mean, I would want to kind of be up and awake for as long as possible before the exit. So, and you would want to be feeling as good as possible during that. I'm not so much into booze, so alcohol probably wouldn't play into it. I might want a cigarette, right? So I think probably have some cigarettes sealed up in something so that they're really fresh still. Some good marijuana, like I said. And then I'm thinking maybe some mushrooms. Get some really good mushrooms and have them sealed up in a little jar so that I can munch on some of those. And I actually think maybe if I could find some really pure cocaine, why not? Why not get a little boost, you know, so that you're actually awake for a little bit longer and maybe alive a little bit longer, and go out like, you know, like there was this Aldous Huxley, right? Brave New World author. He did that. He went out, on his deathbed, he requested LSD, right? And he took LSD while he was dying. Wow. So I thought, you know what, why not, if you're going to go out, right, it's not like you're going to get in trouble. It's not like it's going to kill you, right? Well, it's not going to kill you to do this last line. Well, maybe not, but is it going to kill me to not do it? Either way, you're dying, right? I mean, go out feeling good. You get this one life. You get all of these experiences that, in the end, just kind of evaporate, right? As you do. As soon as your spirit lifts, you're done. You're just a corpse. You're just an empty hull, a shell. Right? Now, what happens to whatever else you are when you go? Who knows? Who fucking knows, right? I'm not going to claim that I understand what's going on because somebody else has programmed me with that understanding. Period. You know, I'm not dissing on anybody else, but that's the way I see the world and life from my point of view. You know, you don't have to agree with me. You don't have to fucking hate me for it either. You know, what, I have an opinion. My opinion differs, so therefore we need to go to war. I mean, that's the way it works, right? Give me a break. No, so I'm, you know, I'm not going to go out the way I'm supposed to go out. Right? He died in his bed, surrounded by loved ones at 7:37 p.m. Tuesday night. No. No. If, you know, we're going out, period. There ain't no getting around it. When it happens, who knows? Should you be prepared for it? Yeah, that's why people do wills and what do you call it? Things where it's a trust, right? People do people trust and that kind of shit because they want to prepare for the afterlife, not so much for themselves, but for their loved ones, right? And that's great, preparing for. But so, what do you do for yourself to prepare for the afterlife besides going to church and paying them to pray for you and to do all of this stuff for you, right? That you could do yourself, but you ain't got time because you're working your ass off to take care of your family, so that when you're gone, they've got nothing of you left except for all of that money is stacked away in a trust, right? So that's cool, you know. Good on them and everything. I'm sure they would much rather have had you for a longer period of time during all of those years that where you were out slaving away to bring home all of that shit for them. But we never see it that way. Why? Because we're programmed to see it in a slave viewpoint, right? Period. You know, we're supposed to get up every day and go and slave and only eat 3 meals a day during our slave breaks, right? I tried to explain that to my daughter, that look, humans weren't meant to only eat 3 meals a day, all right? Humans were meant to hunt and gather and graze and, you know, for hundreds of thousands of years, we just walked around all day long and just kind of ate what we could find when we could find it, right? Ooh, there's some carrion over there. I think I'll have meat tonight. You know, I mean, that's the way it worked. And now, because we've been programmed as slaves to, you know, to work 8 to 12 hours a day, you know, 4 to 6 days a week, and get that day off, you know, that day of rest that the Lord gave us, you know, it's all programmed into us to think that, gosh, we're so lucky that we can go out and earn a living, you know, and what kind of a living is it? Right? You spend most of your day in a factory. You spend a couple of minutes of that day with your family, usually trying to avoid any kind of difficulties, right? And then you're in bed for 8 to 10 hours. 8 to 10 hours at work, 8 to 10 hours in bed. You know, and what do you do with the other couple of hours? You're reading the paper, you're, you know, watching TV, going to a game, trying to avoid being with those people who you're working your ass off for, right? Give me a break. Here's a screen. Take a screen and go play over there so I can be on my screen. I'm sorry, that's the way I see it, you know. And I'm not sorry because it's fucking true. If it offends you, I'm not even fucking sorry, you know. I'm not doing it to offend you. I'm just telling it how it is from my point of view. Don't shoot the messenger, man. Because I'm not bringing you a message of truth or even reality. I'm bringing you a message of my truth and my reality, right? For my sake. If it helps you, great. If it pisses you off, oh well. Yeah. What are you going to do? I'm not here to offend anyone. If you get offended, that's your issue. You need to grow up and learn how to be unoffended by everybody else. Don't let other people control your emotions, right? What the point is that? You know, everywhere you go, somebody is controlling you. Doesn't that happen anyway? From the time you're born, parents are controlling you. The teachers are controlling you. Law enforcement is controlling you. The church is controlling you. The government is controlling you. Everybody's controlling you. Who controls you? You don't. You've got no fucking say of it. You just keep going where you're supposed to go. What am I supposed to do now? Go over there and be like, okay, here I go. You know? I've seen that since birth. You know? When did I decide I wasn't going to just do what I was told? Probably somewhere in junior high. Yeah, it was junior high in the 7th grade when I just got up and walked past the bus stop on the way to school one day and just said, fuck school. And just decided I wasn't going anymore. And I ditched the last 6 weeks straight. Just said, fuck it. They got nothing for me. They all suck. They all want to bully me. The teachers, the staff, the kids. They all fucking hate me. You know, I'm beginning to hate myself. I'm out of here. I would spend my days walking through the neighborhood in Lakeland Village, Elsinore, and make friends with stray dogs and homeless people and my brother's friends who didn't go to school. You know, whoever would, you know, take me in and show me kindness, I would hang out with for the day. And then go home after school and pretend like I was at school. Yeah, school was great. It was fun. It was just fucking just like it always was. You know. Because honestly, my parents never gave two shits about my school. I would try to come home and explain to them, look, shit's going on. People are bullying me. Fuck it. You'll get over it. Or they just wouldn't give a fuck. You know. I would get in so much trouble at school just because I wouldn't play. I would not play their fucking bullshit. You know, you're going to be mean to me. Don't expect me to fucking go 2 + 2 is fucking fuck you. You know? You're going to be an asshole to me. You can be a nice, polite human. You're a teacher. You're supposed to be nice to the kids, and you ain't. You ain't nice to me. Why? Because I look different and I act different. I talk different. So therefore, you're going to treat me like shit. But you want me to do what you want me to do. You know? You want me to do this shit? I want you to be nice. You're going to be nice? No? Well, fuck you. I ain't doing your fucking schoolwork then. That's how it was. You know? It didn't get said like that. But that's how it happened. If you can't be nice, I don't need to be nice. If you're going to treat me like vermin because, you know, you want to teach kids with perfect haircuts and wearing perfect clean clothes and collared shirts and I ain't that, so therefore I don't get your respect, fuck you. I don't do your homework then. Kiss my ass. I was like that in the 4th grade. When I flipped the table over at my teacher and told him, fuck you. You can't talk to me like that. My name's Michael, not Blondie. Fuck you. So yeah, I guess it was 4th grade when I realized that they weren't there for me. They were there for everybody else because everybody else played the game and fit into that box, and I did not. You know, I was a square peg in a round hole, and they had no use for me. And that was okay on their side. But when I decided I had no use for them, oh boy, were they offended. How dare you? You can't do that. You have to go to school. You have to do this and this and that. And you have to listen to us and you have to obey and obey, obey, obey. That was the one word, obey. You know. Excuse me? You're going to treat me like garbage, but you want me to show you respect. It's a two-way street. I don't get respect. You don't get respect. And I went through most of my childhood, in fact, most of my life like that. I'll give you the benefit of the doubt, but the moment you cease to show me respect, we're done. Period. It can be reversed over time, but it's going to take a long time for you to earn that respect back, because you get it immediately, without fail. You know, everybody gets the same benefit of the doubt. Everybody gets my respect. Right? I will help anyone through anything. Benefit of the doubt. It's up to them to keep me on their side or to force me against them. I don't make those decisions. They do with their actions and their words. It can be changed, but it'll change like that. It'll go from good to bad, just like that. They can fuck it all up. It'll take a long time for them to repair that damage, okay, that they created, that the damage that they did. Because like I said, everybody gets the same from me right from the get-go. And usually they fuck it up really quick with their actions or their words. Because, words are important. When they're directed directly at somebody, they're really, really important on how you phrase those words, right? If I'm just sitting here talking to nobody, I can say whatever the fuck I want and unload off of my fucking brain and not be afraid of offending anyone, because I'm not directing this at anyone unless I say, hey, you're an asshole, right? So I got no problem talking my shit here. If I'm with somebody, face to face, eye to eye with somebody, I'm not going to talk my shit at them right into their face, right? Because then it's directed at them, and now I am guilty of offense, right? I don't want to do that. But if you're offended by this, there's the door, You're here by your own free will, Whether you were invited or uninvited, you still have the option of taking off. If you get offended. If you're not offended, well, then you're probably open-minded enough to know that I'm not directing anything directly at somebody. I'm just shooting this. You want to shoot the shit with me? Throw me a comment. We'll shoot the shit. Yeah. So, preparing for EOL. Did he say AOL? Yeah. It's not just important to one's soul, right, or one's family, right? It's important to your head, because that's where you live, right? And if you're going out, and you're going out, and you're probably going to be in pain, well, you're going to want something to help that pain. You're going to want to have something there to not so much take you out of your head, but take you to where you're going with ease, I guess. So yeah, I think I'm going to, how the hell I'm going to come up with fentanyl-free cocaine? That's going to be a tough one, right? And how do you test for fentanyl? Because I definitely don't want any of that shit. I'd like to get some, what are those, moon rocks? Is that what they're called? They're like a really, really good high-grade marijuana rolled in wax or something, and then covered in keef and crystals, and then they're like candy. It's like marijuana candy, right? So something like that would be cool. I'm not much into cigars, but I would like a really nice cigarette, a blindfold and a cigarette. That's how I want to go out, because I don't want to see this fucking world no more. No, really. A really good cigarette, right? Like an English Oval. That'd be a great cigarette, non-filter, strong ass, fucking really nice unfiltered tobacco. That'd be great. Some really good high quality mushrooms. That'd be nice. Some really good high quality unfentanyl laced cocaine for that little boost, so you can kind of stick around a little bit longer to enjoy the buzz. If I'm going to have a drink, what kind of drink am I going to want to be my last drink? I'd love a Coke, right? If I had time to eat a last meal, probably a Coke and a cheeseburger. Or a Coke and a taco, right? I don't think food is going to be an issue at the moment of dying, though. It'd be nice to have the smell of food cooking in the background. That'd be nice. Because that's going to evoke a lot of mental stimulus, right? Totally. Ha! Okay, so how many people are afraid of dying? But it's like everybody poops. Everybody dies. It's like being afraid of pooping, right? It's like being afraid of the inevitable. You know, like being afraid of going to sleep, because everybody has to sleep. At some point, every day, somebody has to go to sleep, right? Well, at some point in every life, you have to die, right? So it's not so much the dying that is scary. I think it's the not being around any longer that scares us, or that's what scares me. It's just not being, right? But isn't that where we start, right? Isn't that, that's like the heaven of, was it Baptist or Pentecostal or something? It's one of those American Southern religions where they don't believe in heaven or hell. They believe that where you go when you die is the same place you started before you were born, right? Do you remember where you were born? No. That's where you're going when you die. We don't know. It could be any place. It could be heaven or hell. It could be, it could be next door. We could die here and wake up at Bob's house and go, hey, look, now I'm Bob's brother. Who knows? It could be reincarnation, and it could not be. It could just be the end. Lights out. Yeah, my thing is I'm not going to guess. I'm not going to get programmed. I'm not going to go along with what, okay, well, the majority says that this is what happens, so I'm going to go along with them. I was taught not to follow everyone off of that bridge, okay? Regardless of whether it's good or bad, stay and wait and watch and see what happens to everybody else first, and then decide where you're going to go and what you're going to follow. Now, as far as I can see, from my point of view, all right, this doesn't mean that you have to burn me at the fucking stake for having an opinion, but all religions are cults, right? And they all want something from you. They're going to go about it in different ways. They all want to program you and get you to think a certain way, right? And I was just never into being programmed. I was never into being told what to do. You tell me to do something, I ain't ever going to do it. Tell me to watch that movie, I ain't ever going to watch it. Tell me not to do that, and I'm probably going to try it out. Or at least examine the idea of whether or not I should, rather than just go, oh, I shouldn't do that? Okay, I won't ever do that. Thank you for telling me. And then never look in that direction again. That's not me. That's not natural for me. That's unnatural for me. I have to question. I have to wonder why. I have to look at all of these people and go, why? Why are you doing this? Why are you following that? Why do you think this way? Other people just go, sign me up. And I got to understand. I have first I have to have understanding. And then I probably won't. I'll probably just be a spectator. Well, I don't go to church and I don't have any strong beliefs one way or the other. I am a spiritual person. I do believe in the possibilities, right? But because there are so many possibilities, how do you narrow it down to one and say, okay, this is it, this is for me, this is all I'm going to do? I'm a Republican, Christian, corporate, and you label yourself and go down that road for the rest of your fucking life as that. And then you get, and it's like, oh, you know what? I've decided that I'm going to change a little bit, and my religion doesn't suit how I've changed, so I'm going to change religions. Okay, go for it. But don't come along after having tried to get me to get on board with this religion, and then come along later and say, oh, you know what? you should come over here and try this. No, I was wrong. You need to get away from that and come over. I don't know how many times I've had people in my life flip-flop. First they're this and then they're that. And then maybe they'll go back to that or they'll try something else. And it's like, okay, all right, that's fine. That's, you're an experimentalist, an adventurist. Go for it. I'm not going to follow you. No way. First of all, I'm not a follower. I'm not a leader, but I'm not a follower, We weren't... Yeah, that's political bullshit, leading and following, right? That should never have to be, right? We should be able to work together. No one person should be in charge of everybody else, And if they are, well, then why aren't they the best of the best of the best? Why do we got some schmutz up there telling us what to do? Why do we put this idiot? Well, because the smart people know that there shouldn't be somebody in charge, right? They can govern themselves. They can take care of themselves because they're smart. We need a schmuck up there to take care of people because there's a lot of idiots out there who don't know what to do without somebody telling them what to do because we've been programmed since we were fucking kids. So we're little babies programmed to be a certain thing. And then, of course, once you become an adult or driving age, all of that goes out the window, and now you have to be a liar, a cheater, a thief, the bullshit artist, right? Because once you become an adult, you can't admit to any wrongdoings until you have a lawyer. You never come right out and say, yeah, I did that, it's my fault. No, you have to, I didn't do nothing, I can't say anything, I can't admit to anything until I talk to my mom and dad and my lawyer. Fuck you. And that's what's wrong with the world, Everybody's just so fucking programmed full of bullshit that even when you try to, I hate to use the word open their eyes, but, for lack of a better term, yeah, you try to open somebody's eyes and they look at you like you got 3 fucking heads, like they don't, reality? Are you kidding me? No way. That's not reality. This bullshit over here, this is reality. Right. Just don't even go there, man. Don't even fucking go there. Fucking shit. I'm sorry, I just get so upset. I just want people to just see that they're fucking being used, right? Realize that collectively, as individual people, we can get shit done. When we pass the buck and give our taxes and our votes and our tithings, all we're doing is putting somebody else in charge of us, right? And allowing ourselves to be lorded over and governed. And no, they don't care who we fucking vote for as long as we continue to want to be ruled over. That's it. What would be really great is if the entire country just decided not to vote. Not one fucking vote. Right? And instead, everybody writes on the ballot, anarchy. And it doesn't mean what punk rock wants you to think it means. Anarchy just means us ruling ourselves, right? Because we're intelligent enough to, if we allow ourselves to be. But we don't. We don't want to be intelligent. We want to be pushed along and coddled and Karenized. No. Nah. We have the means of communicating with everyone on the planet. Everybody's got a fucking phone. Everybody. You got fucking Zulus in the desert, and they got fucking, or we're the Zulus, right? So you got people all over the fucking planet, in jungles, on mountaintops, on the ocean, on islands, and everybody's got a fucking phone. Everybody. You get on one of these social media platforms and you start scrolling through videos, and you got people in villages, bare feet, chasing chickens around, right, living in a hut with a dirt floor, and they got a phone. They got a fucking really kick-ass smartphone, and they're out there making videos, right? So it's possible for everyone to be on the same page. They don't want us to be, right? Because if collectively, if we were all one, they'd be out of a fucking job. If there's nothing to fix, why do we need them? They have to keep things fucked up in order to keep us beholden to them. Period. We can fix things without them. And as soon as we realize we can fix things without them, they're going to look for ways to fuck it up so badly that we have no choice but to give it back over to them, right? We were starting to figure that out about 24, 23 years ago. That, you know what, we're doing pretty good. Things are looking up, and then all of a sudden a couple of buildings come down and the whole world fucking changes, and we're just giving up our rights, just emptying our pockets full of rights. Help us, save us, take care of us. And they just have, ever since then, have constantly done things to control us. Things happen. They find some fucking schmutz talking shit on Facebook, and they start communicating with this schmutz, telling him, hey man, we really like what you're saying. Maybe we can help you out if you can help us out. And then all of a sudden this schmutz goes in and empties a clip in a frickin' mosque, and they got their control back. They can now program people to hate this or love that, or, back the flag, or what fucking ever bullshit propaganda they got. And then get 100 fucking idiots an hour. Where do I sign up to kill me some assholes, right? The same people that are going to church and praying for peace and love want to pick up a fucking M16 and just go, I'm going to be a sniper. Good for you. Why don't you go play a fucking video game? You leave the humans alone. The only reason they hate us is because we force them to, right? Period. Since the 40s, since we've been going to the Middle East to steal their oil and trade them bullshit, right? Just like the assholes that came over here and traded the natives beads for land, right? We went over there and we gave them bullshit weapons, and then gave the same weapons to their neighbor to take their oil, right? We give you weapons for your oil, we're going to give them weapons for their oil, and then we're going to watch you guys fight and need more weapons. And then we got a whole market here of, oil for weapons. You research it. It's really sad the way America boasts about being the best country in the world. And yeah, if we're talking about a country full of fucking con artists and used car salesmen, because that's pretty much it, ad men selling us bullshit. The ad men have sold us on bullshit products, bullshit politicians, bullshit religions, bullshit fucking TV and movies that just do more propaganda programming. And what do? We gobble it up because, oh, that's my favorite star. Even though he's in a movie that, totally denigrates a whole fucking race of people, right? But it's okay because it's my favorite star. What's he going to do next time? Ugh. And then we get these celebrities out there who get this whole fan base hooked on something, and the whole fan base is all goo goo gaga over some political figure or religious figure or whatever, some corporate crap. And now you've got a celebrity helping to program an entire fucking group of humanity. And usually it's some kind of divisive bullshit. There's always a side. Rather than create something that brings us all together as equals, we're going to put labels on everything and then say, accept these people, and accept these people, and accept these people. No. You accept everyone. You don't accept these people as this, or these people as that, or these people as that. No. All of you guys are us. We are all the same. And until we get on board with that, it's just going to be the same bullshit. You're going to raise your rainbow flag, right? And we're supposed to like that. We're supposed to like you as that. We can't just accept you as you, we have to accept you as that with these labels, right? And that's not right. Accepting you as me. I'm accepting you as me. You're the same as me. It don't matter what you wear, what you look like, who you identify yourself as. You're me and I'm you. Period. Right? We're all the same. As soon as we get there, all of the bullshit's going to fall away. But the bullshit is what's holding it all together right now. The bullshit is what's keeping the bullshit together. People don't get it. You know, how many years can I scream, look, we're all the fucking same. Until you realize that we're all the same. Period. Without the labels. Fuck the labels. Stick your labels up your ass. You want to be gay, straight, LBGQ, whatever. It doesn't matter. It don't fucking matter. Take the labels and fucking throw them away. Be who you are without the fucking labels. Well, I'm this. Stop saying that. Stop saying you're this or you're that. Stop it. One fucking label. You're human. You want to put on an adjective, you're either a good human or a bad human. Pick one. But that's it. You don't need any more than that. Because all of the other is just fucking label bullshit to keep us separated or to sell you an idea or a product, right? Shake that shit the fuck off. Please. When I look around, I don't see fucking labels. I see people. I don't see colors. I see people. I don't see men and women, boys and girls. I see people, right? Because that's what we are. That's who you are. You're people. All of that other bullshit is what's thrown on you to make us different. It's not our color that makes us different. It's not our sex. It's not our religion. It's not all the things inside of us, our beliefs and likes and hopes and dreams and desires. That's not what makes us different. That's what makes us the same. It's all of the bullshit that they put on us on the outside that makes us different. Period. Grab a hold of that and never let go. But shake those fucking labels off. You put a label on your kid, shame on you. You should be shamed. Shame on you. Don't label your fucking kid. Don't, my kid is this and he's that and he's this and he's that. I got a good kid. That's it. I got a good, smart kid. Whether they are or not, you keep telling that kid that it's a good, smart kid and it will be a good, smart kid. And grow up to be a good, smart human. You start getting down on the kid about everything the kid does, right? And start telling the kid that, you have to be this and you have to be this and you have to be that. And, don't ever do that because if you do, you're going to be thought of as that. Fuck that. Stop throwing all that fucking bullshit on people, man. Especially your own kids. I never once put a label on my daughter. Good. That was it. The only fucking label my daughter ever got. Good. She's a good kid. Good daughter. Good human. Good. That's it. There shouldn't be anything else. I never even focus on the fact that my daughter is a daughter and not a son, right? It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. She's human, That's all that matters. Boy, girl, other, indifferent. It doesn't matter, right? All that sexuality shit is just fucking more label crap thrown on us to get us to well, we're going to buy dresses or we're going to buy jeans. I mean, that's it. That's fucking it. My daughter played with boy and girl toys. She wore dresses and pants and shorts, right? It was like you wear what the hell you want to wear. You act and dress and look and think the way you want to fucking think. I'm not here to program you. I'm here to guide you and to keep you from going astray. That's it. Right? Oh, man. Just stop being programmed, people. Stop wearing labels. Stop saying that you're this or you're that. Stop putting those little signs on your car that says, I'm a Republican or I'm a Democrat or, Christian, Taoist. It doesn't matter. That's all peripheral bullshit. You're human. Are you good or bad? That's all I care about. If you're bad, stay the fuck away from me until you can be good. Can everybody be good? Oh, hell yeah. But we're not trained to be good. We're programmed to be assholes, basically. And very few of us get away from that. I mean, how many kids out there are programmed by their parents to be bullies? Most of them, male and female, bullies from birth. They get bullied as children, right? Because their parents are constantly bombarding them with rules and regulations and labels, right? And so they figure, well, fuck it. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go out and bully people and label people. Hey, you little fucking dick face. I don't like the way you look. Yeah. Oh, man. Oh, man. It sickens me. You know? It really does. Better plug my phone in there. I mean, cute labels, little pet name type label things, you know. Well, that's, you know, that's normal. You know. Names or nicknames or little cute little labels that help to shame people. And believe me, I'm okay with shaming. You want to shame somebody, provided they've done something shameworthy, fucking shame them, you know. I don't know why we stopped shaming people. It's all the Karens out there who refuse to be shamed for being Karens or whatever. I don't fucking know. You know? No. If there's a good reason to shame somebody, shame. Fat shaming, stupid. That's dumb. You know, shame somebody because of their race or because of their what they wear. Or you want to shame somebody for being an asshole. You know, shame somebody for being an abuser, right? Shame somebody for being a criminal or a fucking tweaker, you know. Shame somebody for something that they can repair about themselves, something that they can control, right? You can't control your race, your weight, most of the time. You can't control your sex. Well, you know, I mean, you can make decisions and go one way or the other, or in between, right? But you shouldn't be shamed for what you are, you know. How you are, yeah. If you're an asshole, fucking shame that asshole. You know, if you're gonna stand up in a fucking, you know, theater and act like a fucking jerk and start spouting your political crap, shame that fucker on out of here and make him feel like a worm and get him the fuck out of here. Not that everybody, you know, I don't think anybody really gives a shit anymore when somebody says, hey, you know what? You're pissing everybody off. They've got 100 people in here who totally disagree with you. Why don't you shut up and leave? I don't have fucking and people just don't care anymore. You know, you tell somebody that they fucked up and they get in your face and say, what are you going to fucking do about it, motherfucker? Huh? Why don't you tell me to do it? Huh? Come on, motherfucker. And it's like, dude, you know, it's quite obvious that you're being an asshole. Why don't you just not be an asshole? Why don't you make me not be a fucking asshole? Come on, motherfucker. It's like, you know, those people give me cause to want to act out physically, you know, and that's unfortunate because that's not who I am, you know. If we could just walk through the world, and when someone is unworthy of their own existence, right, just put a label on them. We got one over here, you know, and they get 3 labels and they're gone. 3 tags and you're gone. You know, where'd they go? I don't know. Where they went to that place that we send people who just cannot fucking figure it out. You know, it used to be prison. It used to be mental hospitals. You know, it used to be institutions. It used to be all of these things. Now it's just a place that we send people, and those are old thinkers, old world thinkers, right? We're raising new thinkers now. People who actually want to get along, who don't wear labels and don't put shit on other people, right? That's what we need to do. And then these old world thinkers who just cannot stop fucking with everybody about their own bullshit, who can't get with the new way of thinking, right? Which should be the only way of thinking, right? Then put them on a bus, send them to that place, And if they can figure it out there, they can come back. If they can't, well, let them fucking stay there. You know? Call it a prison, call it a concentration camp, call it an institution, call it whatever the fuck you want. Call it the place that people go when they can't fucking get along with the rest of the world, right? It should be filled with politicians and evangelist preachers who just, you know, want money in trade for prayers. You know, and all those people in society who just can't keep from fucking with people. They need to all go there. Call it a re-education camp if you want. Because basically that's it. You can either be re-educated or you can stay in there and you can just fuck with each other. Right? That's it. Tattoo each other, fuck each other in the ass, whatever it is that people do when they go to these places. And that's all they have left, you know. Shiv each other, knife each other, pat each other on the back and tell each other how good they are, you know, whatever. But if you can't get along out in the world, where everybody just should be worried about the betterment of humanity, if you can't do that, then get the fuck out of here. Go away. Go on. Because we don't need you. You know, if you can't get up every day and think, let me see, how am I going to help the world? Then go the fuck away. If you ain't helping, you're hindering. Go away. We don't need it. I better go see if there's a dog that needs a rescuing. And I might as well warm this up. All right, so somebody said something. Oh, I know Wedgie. Somebody said something about camping on Facebook. I was loading up the link for this morning's show on Facebook, and the first post was something about going camping. Right? I was like, "Let's go camping and stare up at the stars and cuddle," or something like that. And I was like, "Yeah, that's what my dog wants me to do." True. But I'm like the only one in my family that wants to go camping. My daughter hates it. We spent the first probably 10 years of her life living in a travel trailer. So that was pretty much like camping, right? The extension of the trailer was wherever we were, the outside world there. So, I mean, her living room was basically whatever front yard we had, right? Whether it be an actual yard or a garden or a parking lot or somebody's house or whatever. So, yeah, leaving the luxury of a room and air conditioner and perfect lighting and bed and everything to go spend a couple of days sleeping on a mat on a tent floor is none too appealing to my wife or daughter. Now, of course, I see it differently. I see, well, you know, why does it have to be a mat? Why can't it be an air mattress? Why can't it be a futon? Why does it have to be a little tent? Why can't it be a big tent? Why can't we take the van and have, you know, this or that? You know, let's make it. And they're like, I'd love to go camp. That's probably one of my bucket list things, is to have a really nice camping trip, right? It doesn't have to be a long trip, 2 or 3 nights. Nothing heavy, you know, drive a couple of hours, set up camp, just enjoy the fresh air and the trees and the animals and the food and the sleeping at night in a tent and the fresh air at night, and, you know, all that the camping gives you and refreshes your soul. Yeah, I really need that. Either this fall or this spring would be good, because summertime and wintertime, don't even, just forget it. Camping. camping would be good. Yeah, you know what? It's always because people have always put labels on me, and they're usually wrong. They usually, the labels that they want to put on me, it has nothing to do with me so much as it has to do with the way that I'm seen. And I think that's what's wrong with labels, is that usually they're put upon us by others, and then we accept those labels. You're calling me that, well, fine, I am that then, and that's what I am, and I'm always going to be that. And then, you know, and then we're locked in stone. No, labels, man. I just can't see the use for any labels unless you're looking at the supermarket, right? I just don't see any use. You know, every city has a label, every country has a label, every state, every nation, every place, everything has a label, right? But people should not have to be beholden to labels, right? They don't belong on people. We all know that we're human. You're either good or bad, you know. Decide. But there should be no labels involved. That's it. You know, everything else is so that we can be sold one way or the other on something. You're either this or you're that, or this or that, or this or now. There's just millions of labels that we can, you know, we walk around like race car drivers with those jumpsuits on with the patches all over, right? And each one of these patches is a label that's been thrust on us by society that we've accepted. And that's the thing where you accept these labels. You allow yourself to be labeled, controlled, manipulated, programmed, propagandized. Don't go there. Don't fucking go there. I don't know, I just always feel like my words are falling upon deaf ears, like no matter how much I scream the truth, somebody has you know, somebody has some lie that's just better, more convincing, more tantalizing. Yeah. Got a little flicker in my screen there. These cameras, every once in a while, they just decide to go, I can't do nothing about it. I've got this little mixer, audio-video mixer here, and the cameras that are supposed to go with these mixers are like thousands of dollars, right? So I'm using, you know, $20, $25, $50 cameras that are about 10 years old, at least. And they're just HD enough to work with this. So every once in a while I think it goes dark because it has to refresh. But if you look real close at these pictures, they're not real clear. They're kind of grainy, kind of pixelated. And that's just because they're older cameras in a newer world, right? It's just the way it is. You know, this is a label. Radio station. These things on my marquee there, those are labels, you know. Am I a crazy old weird bearded guy? Yes and no. That's not who I am. It's not my name. It's not my label. You know, these are just things that describe aspects of my personality, right? But it's not. I don't go by crazy old weird bearded guy, right? I don't even like to go by the name Michael, which is my name. It's a label, right? I'm just a guy. Just a guy. If you want to give me a label, I'm just a guy. I'm just a guy. Am I a nice guy? I hope that people think I'm a nice guy. You know, I'm sure there's people out there that want me dead because they want to see me a certain way, or because of something I might have done or said, you know, when I was young. I don't think I've done really anything in the last 25 years that would want someone to hate me, you know, other than me being myself, right? Oh my God, I hate that dude. He's so him. Well, good, hate me then. If it makes you feel good to hate me, then I've done something good, you know. I've made you feel good, so yay. I've been hated for less than just being me, right? I'm sure. I mean, people that have probably known me their whole life want me dead because I'm just me. How dare you be me? Oh, how dare you? You're not allowed to be you. You have to be me or think the way I don't understand it. How people can hate other people because they're different. I don't get it. I mean, I've tried to understand it, believe me, because I've been hated most of my life for being different. I mean, literally hated. I've had people tell me, I hate you. I wish you were dead. It's okay when it's, you know, people that you don't care about. When it's your family that says that, well, that's kind of a bummer. But, you know, when it's just some fucking goofball who don't even fucking have any conception of who you are, well, then I could give a shit. Good, hate me, motherfucker. Make you feel good? Uh-huh. I made you feel good. You hate me and I made you feel good. You know? It sucks when it's your own flesh and blood or something. What are you going to do? What are you going to do? You know, it's not a problem because it's not my problem. It's not an issue. It's not my problem. You know, somebody else's hate for me, it's their issue. If they want to go through life hating, you know, and having all of that inside of them, go for it. I gave that up a long time ago. I get here every morning, I unload, I go through life, and I don't have to hate. You know, I don't even hate when I'm doing this. I'm just expressing emotion. You know, working shit out. Yep. But, you know, for people to get all bent out of shape and let somebody else control their emotional state of mind, that's ridiculous. You know, it took me years to figure that out. Decades, in fact. That we allow others that much control over us just by giving in to those emotions that they provoke, right? How dare you make me feel like this? They didn't do it. You did it to yourself. You allowed yourself to be manipulated by somebody's fucking bullshit. Got you all hot and bothered, didn't it, dumbass? Ignore their fucking bullshit. It's bullshit. You know, somebody fucks with me, I just go, fuck you. What are you going to do? Huh? Continue to be an asshole? What am I could tell you you're an asshole. What are you going to do? You're not going to care. So why bother? You know? Why bother with it? All I can do is hope that you're going to see the error of your ways. You know, every day I try to look objectively at my life and decide, good or bad, you know, what am I doing? Am I doing good or am I doing bad? You know, am I going to sit here and watch my wife in the kitchen, or am I going to get up and help my wife in the kitchen, right? Good or bad, good or bad, good or bad. Figure it out. You're going to do this, you're going to do that. One way is good, one way is bad. One way is good, one way is not so good. One way is bad, and one way is not so bad. I mean, what are you going to do? Figure it out. Always try to choose the better. Well, this bad is going to make me feel good, right? So is that good? I don't know. Is that bad that you're doing to make yourself feel good going to make somebody else feel bad? Then don't fucking do it. Period. Well, fuck them. Well, then that's bad. I want to do it for me. Well, then that's bad. Do it for you, but don't fuck with them over it. If you doing it is going to fuck with them, then don't fucking do it. Whatever it is. Especially if it's your family, you know. Your family says don't do that, then don't fucking do it. Yeah. There you go. Over and out, baby. Over and out. Yeah, the graphics at the show, the video up behind the stage was pretty awesome. Pretty awesome stuff. Now, if I could own a spaceship, it would look like that. It would look like that. I've always wanted one of those things, a device that looked like that. So the closest I could get was a Simon, right? Y'all know what a Simon is, right? Come on, you guys know what a Simon is. Yeah. So, this is a Simon, and it is a pre-video game. Basically, these things light up and create a pattern of lights, and then you have to follow the pattern of lights. So it'll go 1 and you go 1, and then it'll go 1, 2 and you go 1, 2, and then it'll go 1, 2, 3 and you go 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then you have to follow along until you make a mistake, and it speeds up and just keeps adding lights and sounds, and you just have to keep following it along. Some people are really good. I can go about, I don't know, 10 to 20 steps, and then I'm like, bleh, and then my mind just craps out, right? But it's a fun, one of those hand-eye brain coordination things, where it involves all of your senses, except for smell, right? Unless you start smelling the bullshit. But that was as close as I could come to getting some kind of device that reminds me of the ELO ship, right? Like the Discovery album, where the Aladdin guy is holding on to one, you know, and he's like in a room, and he's like looking down and he's going, ooh, and it's all glowing and stuff. That's really cool. So, yeah, I'd love to be able to sit and play Simon with somebody. That'd be cool, you know. And basically you get turns. You can have how many players, right? Game 1, game 2, skill level 2. So game, 1 people, 2 people, and then skill level. I should probably open this up and deox it. And it'll actually replay the longest thing here. But it's a really neat old school brain game, like the Rubik's Cube. I should get my daughter's Rubik's Cube and stick it out here on my shelf for display. Yeah. We just put together found a CD rack, a really nice kind of artsy fartsy looking double CD rack thing with multiple shelves in it. And we just set that up in my daughter's room for her CDs, her DVDs, video games, and some of the cubbies we put flat things on so she can use them as shelves for knickknacks. So while we do actually have a home now and not a travel trailer, it's a mobile home, so it's not real big. She needs a room about 2 or 3 times the size that she has. I need a room about 4 times this size, because this room here, it's pretty small. I mean, I'm in a quarter of the room right where I'm sitting, and there's a quarter of the room there. And then there's a quarter of the room there, and then half a quarter over here. I mean, it's not a real big room. If I had something 4 times this size, it still might not be big enough. Because if it was bigger, I would be able to bring in more stuff from storage to display in here. Yeah. So if I had a really, you know what? A house is a house, you know. I would prefer to have like a 10,000 square foot warehouse, 2 or 3 story high, with a skylighted ceiling. It doesn't have to have any windows along the sides. It doesn't have to have any windows. Upper windows, second story windows would be fine, but no bottom windows. I would want to create within the warehouse and the lighted sky, I would want to create my own world, so that when you're sitting inside of a house, inside of this warehouse, which would be like a bungalow and a kitchen and another bungalow and a studio and a library and a museum, and have all of these things built within a warehouse, right? So that when you're looking out the window of your bungalow, you're not looking at the wall of a warehouse, you're looking at trees and bushes and plants and water and things, and then merging into a three-dimensional picture behind that, right? So that you're in an actual building, but you can't tell. There's actual natural light. There's plants and trees growing up as tall as the walls up into the ceiling. There's stuff hanging from the ceiling. There's skylight and natural light and manufactured light. There's fresh air and water coming through, plants and animals everywhere, with little bungalows and buildings and stuff built within inside of this 10,000 or greater square foot building, right? That to me would be a better way of living than living in a house with neighbors and a yard and a fence and all of that. I think the fence would be the outside wall of this, and there would be 3 or 4 feet at least along the edges inside of this building that are going to be plants and trees and shrubs and bushes and stuff and animals, so that you have to go through a forest to get to that wall, and you have to go through a little pathway to get to an exit door or an entrance door. So you don't just every once in a while, somebody opened the door, there's a whole area that you've got to go through to get from the door into the actual environment, right? If I won the lottery, that's how I would be living. Some big, giant warehouses, one warehouse in the city somewhere, one warehouse in the country somewhere, one warehouse up in the mountains, one down, in Mexico. I would just have warehouses, big, giant warehouses that are completely enclosed and secure, right? And there's no way in unless you know how to get in, right? And maybe even have them built up, or built into something so that you don't even know it's there. You can't even access it. You have to go somewhere else to access it. You got to go over there, and you got to drive a mile underground, and then you got to pop up through an elevator, and then go over through a hallway, and now you're in. And you don't even know where in is, because you never saw it from outside, right? Buried in the mountains somewhere. Who knows? That would be cool. That would be very cool. And you could just build that warehouse really quick, dirt floor, and then move in with a trailer, a motorhome, park it in there, and then say, okay, let's build this room first, because that's where I want to live, and we need a bathroom and a kitchen and a bedroom. Boom, let's build those. Now let's build the library and the entertainment room and the music room and this and that, and a few other bungalows and a 2-story and this and that, and let's build a catwalk, and just go crazy. And okay, the next warehouse we're going to build like this. We're going to build it over a river, right? So that we can divert this river a little bit this way and have it come through our place. That'd be cool. Or buy like a box canyon, and then cover the box canyon and put a face on it, and just completely enclose the box canyon from the top of the canyon down to the base of the canyon. Have it all enclosed, right? And then create a world within that canyon, wow, that'd be heavy. Why do you gotta live in a house? Freaking beehives, man. I just see, what's that? Oh, your neighbor farted. Oh, I mean, you're that close. What's that tapping at the door? Oh, it's the neighbor reaching across from his kitchen window, tapping on your kitchen window. Hey, man, you got some sugar? Because that's how close the houses are. It's fucking pathetic. I mean, we live where we live because we have to. We're programmed to live like we live, and how we live, and where we live, and what style home we live in. We're programmed. It's the way the world is, you know. We can escape that programming. We don't want to. We get comfortable in it. And it's easy. It's easy just to pay someone else to worry about it. Pass the buck. Vote, pay your tithing, pay your taxes, do all of these things, and then you can just go about your business, work your, 50 weeks a year, and take your 2 weeks and go to Tahiti. And, that's all people want. Because they're programmed to only want that. Sure, we dream, and we think, we know we want more, but we're never going to get it. Not the way things are now, because it's slavery. We're just slaves. It's programmed slavery. We're just doing a job. That's what life is. We're just doing a job. Now, I've proved that I can work those jobs, right? Be that 9 to 5er, pay the bills, pay the rent, make the monthlies, I've also proven that it's unnecessary. It's bullshit. And you don't have to live, the way that the world wants you to, because it's set up for everyone else to profit. There's one guy at the top going, hey, it don't matter who you vote for as long as you choose to be ruled, right? Thanks, Chris. Or Tony. Yes, one of them said that. Come on. Isn't it true? I mean, we're programmed with so much. Our tastes, our likes, our dislikes, our hates, our loves, For the first 25 years, no, more. For the first 35 years of my life, all right, I knew, because I was programmed, I knew that I was going to marry a blonde-haired, blue-eyed girl about 5'2", who loved horses and wore jeans, and that's it. That was my ideal person, because that's who I was programmed to want, right? I was supposed to want somebody who was supposed to complement my physical, genetical being, right? How do you say testicle? Do you say genital? No. And I realized that was programming. I thought that there was such a thing as a soulmate, right? Or the perfect person, and it's not. All right? Your soulmate is somebody who can put up with your shit, and somebody whose shit you can put up with. Period. Somebody you don't want to fucking strangle. Hey, if you can get through the day and not want to kill this person, you're probably pretty good together. And that's all it is. Somebody who you can care about and love without feeling like it's contrived, right? Yeah, perfect soulmate kind of thing. I mean, I'm sure, how many people have had how many perfect soulmates, right? This is my perfect, well, next. This is my perfect, well, next. Well, this is my, give me a break. Or have you figured it out yet? It don't, stop going for people who you are attracted to physically, right? Stop looking at people on the outside. Start looking at people on the inside. Then maybe you can find someone who's going to better fit the bill, somebody who you can deal with and not want to kill. That's it. You know, you put up with each other's bullshit, and you can go to bed every night and smile at each other. Well, then you're set. You got it digged, man. Why are you gonna, you know? Jeez, people, come on. Oh no. Coffee was cold in that last swaller. Ha. It's just about 7 o'clock, about an hour to go. What else do I want to talk about? I don't know. What am I going to do today? I think my wife said we got to go out and do something. I really need to get out to the t-shirt place. I think I'm just going to just go. It's still August, and I wanted to get something happening with the t-shirts in August. So if I can just get out today, I'm not going to say if I can just get out in the next couple of days, because that'll turn to a week. So if I can get out today, I think I'll give them a call and find out if I can just cruise by and talk to somebody. Who's the head t-shirt geek? And check out their shop, see what's going on. If I could get in there and be more hands-on, because I am an artist and I have worked with screen printing before, and I really, really have one of those minds that like to come up with t-shirt worthy stuff, right? So I might be able to work something out, you know. I mean, I sit and I'll write 100 greeting card. You know, it's like, oh yeah, this is a good greeting card. Oh, this is, oh, that's just stupid. That's hilarious. Oh my God, these people are gonna die. And I'll just, you know, I'll have to dig out a stack of greeting cards that I've written and read them off. Because those are a lot of fun, you know. So I could do t-shirts too. You know, you want t-shirt stuff? Fine. I'll just sit and I'll come up with 100 t-shirt slogans, and you can pick them out, you know. And I give them to you for free. Why the hell not? Oh, man. So yeah, if I put myself into, okay, look, I'm just going to sit and I'm going to think of things to put on a t-shirt, right? I could make 1,000 fucking t-shirts, right? Boom. Yeah. Sorry, I just started drifting off into the past again. Because that's where I go. That's where I live. I live in the past. Yeah, and the present is more like a limbo. I'm just kind of in limbo here until I go back to the past again. It's like the little white room on Quantum Leap, where when the main character goes back into the life of someone else, that person comes into the present and becomes this guy, but they're in a little white room, so they can control what they know and not send them back to their own time afterwards, all screwed up with the futuristic bullshit, right? Totally. So I'm in like that little white room most of the time, just kind of in limbo, waiting to go back to the past. Totally. In fact, I don't do it while I'm here on my shows because I can't have the copyrighted bullshit going on. But usually, most of the time in this room, I'm watching some old TV show, some old movie, or listening to some old music. Because it's great stimuli for time travel, right? And that's basically, I'm just a chrononaut, right? I'm just a time traveler. That's it. And I just time travel in my mind. Because you know what, there's very few things that I find about the present that are appealing to me. I got my wife, I got my daughter, I've got a few things going on in my life, but other than that, it's all about the past. I'd rather be talking about the past, thinking about the past, experiencing something from the past, doing something geared toward the past. The reunion. It's kind of in limbo right now, the reunion thing, until I get the shirts. As soon as I get a handful of shirts going on, and I can figure out how to do shirt donation stuff, right? I've got to get with a couple of people and find out what we're going to do about. I think what we'll do is if you donate $100, you get a shirt and a discounted ticket for the event. So whatever the price of the event is per day, you're going to get 1 day half off with your donation, right? So if it's a $100 per day ticket donation for the event, then you're going to pay $50, which is pretty much going to cover your camping, right? Especially if you're camping. And since it's an all-day event each day, the price is pretty much going to cover everything happening that day, all right? There's going to be food and fun and music and boating and hiking and tours and all that stuff. So it kind of includes everything. It's all inclusive. If it gets out of control size, population-wise, then only volunteer staff will be camped within the venue, and everybody else will be camping outside the venue somewhere, because it's only going to be so big. And if we're going to have 200 or 300 people roaming around in the venue, then we've got to have a camping area off to one side where our tents are and where people can feel okay. And then everything else is going to be set up for just partying, right? But if I can get some shirts, well, I'll get some shirts going within the next couple of weeks. And then at that same time, I'll be trying to figure out how to get the shirts out for donation, right? How do we get the donations in and the shirts out? Do I want to do the first 6 months by mail only so I can cut down on the whole tax thing, right? Probably, because if people send me checks and money orders, I can cash them without having to deposit, and I can just take that money and funnel it into the the bottle that's going to be filled now. It'll just go right from the cash and the checks and right to the t-shirt printer, basically, for the first couple of months, and then it'll start to fill up that Sparklets bottle, and we'll get enough money in it to take care of all of the entertainment, the logistics for the entertainment, and all the food and those logistics, right? And if it turns out that we're going to raise enough to get a house, or we can get us a house for a good price, we're going to do that. And that'll cut down on logistics for food and entertainment, right? So it'll offset, while it'll cost this much for, camping and logistics and cooking facilities and bathrooms and stuff, and this much for camping, right? If we get a house, it'll cost more for a house, but we'll have to pay less for all of these logistics. We won't have to pay for any of it because it'll all be included in the house. A patio becomes a stage. We don't need generators. We don't need a bunch of toilets. We don't need this or that, right? We don't need a lot of camping. We can camp on the beach, so we won't have to pay for that. The prices of stuff will come down, and to offset, it'll just probably be a lot better if we get a house. So the closer we get, the more we're going to be in search of a house, because getting the campsite and the venue is going to be kind of a last minute thing where it's like, okay, it's a month away. We definitely want it. I'm coming down to check out, to mark stuff off and take photographs. And then we're going to be here on this date to set up. Can you please not let anyone camp over there after this date? Because we're going to be there on that date and we're going to start marking off things and rolling out grass and setting up stages and stuff. Right? So, if it looks like it's going to be a hassle at the marina, then we need to get a house on the beach with all of the facilities we need. That's it. That's thousands and thousands of dollars, right? I mean, we're looking at a lot of donations if this thing is really going to go big. I want it to remain private, which is why it has to be donation only. It has to be invitation only. If you want to get invited, get invited. But it's got to be that way to keep the costs down and to keep it free of permits and rules and regulations and all that crap. You know, we want to let people know that it's a private function. It's a family reunion. Yeah, it's this family and that family and this family. We're all getting together as one family. It's a family reunion. It's a family's reunion, right? But it's private, so we won't be going after permits. We won't be going after, you know, are you allowed to sell this? We ain't selling shit, you know. You're gonna serve this? We ain't serving shit. You know, do you need this and that? No, because we ain't doing that shit. So it needs to be well thought out, planned, and I hope that I'm the guy to do that, with the help of a lot of other people. You know. But, crap. Shirts. It just all comes down to shirts. And I haven't got one spark of memory in my head from stuff that my brother said the other night about shirts. So I'm going to have to get with him again and have my daughter sitting here taking notes on everything that we say pertaining to the reunion. And I had told her, I said, man, I wish I had you out here the other night while I was talking to my brother, jotting things down, because she is a great co-pilot, right? And she would have really been a help co-piloting that conversation with my brother. She wouldn't even have to be on camera or even on mic. She would just be sitting there writing down important things that we say. Not that much of we say is important. Arr. Oh, yeah. Yep. And I'll be taking a few more trips back to Elsinore over the next year. I'm actually hoping I can talk my brother into coming out and staying for a couple of weeks before the event, like sometime over, you know, the winter maybe, right? That would be great if I could get him out here to help me work on a lot of this stuff and prepare a lot of these things that need to be prepared. That would be awesome. And then get him out here a couple of weeks before the event and to stay for at least a week after the event, right? So come out for like a month during August, you know. That would be great. I really need that. Yeah, you know, we'd have the opportunity to get to know each other. That would be great. I'd have the opportunity if he could get, you know, his family to come out and get to know his wife. So that would be great. I don't think that it would be both of them coming down both times for the whole time, right? I would hope that we could get him to drive down before the event and hang out and help get the event ready. And then maybe during the winter come down, just fly down or something. And then maybe come out early for the event and then and drive, and then maybe have his wife fly down, and then they can go back together, so that she's not having to take a huge chunk out of her world but my brother, I'm just gonna have to force him, put your life on fucking hold, because this is a one-time thing and we need to just put ourselves into it. I'm gonna, much of my life gets put on hold because of YouTube and because of my reunion stuff and hanging out with my daughter. I'll put everything else on hold just to hang out with her. I'll put this on hold to hang out with her. I'll put my life on hold to hang out here. So and I'll put everything on hold just to hang out with my brother and do reunion stuff and to get to know each other and hang out and play and have fun. So that's got to happen, and that's got to happen a couple of times over the next year. It just has to. But the sooner the better to get him down here just to hang out. Here's a place for you to stay and sleep, and it's not going to cost you anything except for the trip down and the trip back. That's it. Everything else is taken care of. Bring plenty of weed. That's it. But that would be cool, and then we would have the opportunity to get a lot of shit done. Totally. But I think there's going to be a whole lot more video conferences happening, and I think they're going to have to be planned. They're going to have to be recorded more for posterity and for making notes than for entertainment, right? Some of the stuff we do live is just, it goes up live on YouTube because we're just having fun and goofing around. But we're going to have to start taking this very seriously. And it seems like kind of funny to take it seriously this early, because it's a year away. But come on, I mean, how long do they start planning for a concert or a movie before it actually goes out there and is happening, right? Long time. Movies can be planned for years, sometimes a decade or more before they're actually created, right? Yeah. So the reunion, August of 2025, is probably, next to my family, my wife and daughter, is probably the most important thing in my life right now. You know what? Richard Chamberlain's official page wants to confirm me, or wants me to confirm them as being friends, and I don't go into that kind of crap, because it's usually bullshit, and they just want you to buy Richard Chamberlain bullshit that they're selling, and Richard Chamberlain has nothing to do with it, right? Like, I follow official that I know for sure because they actually post a video of themselves doing something on that, and it's directly from them onto their page or channel or whatever, right? So then I'll follow them. But then somebody else comes along and says, hey, you want a private and chat and private and this and that, and that's bullshit. That's the bullshit right there. That's the person that's come along, claiming to be official, and they're not. And then they're trying to sell you a t-shirt or discounted tickets or some other crap that you're never going to get, right? So, so I don't do that. So let's see, I'm just kind of poking around here on Facebook really quick. People are liking stuff, liking a link. It's usual stuff there. Let me go to the events and see what's going on the event page. I like to keep up with this, check it every day or two, and see if there's been any changes in the how many people are interested versus how many people are going, how many people are invited. Yeah, so we've got more people are interested. We've gone from the 60s up into the 70s now. Still about the same amount of people invited. Only 13 of us are going so far, but 71 are interested. 71 times 2, right? So if we've got about 85 people, 80 to 100 people going, then that's times 2. We're looking at a couple of hundred people, right? It's about, because people are going to be coming as couples, whether they come with their significant other or one of their kids or their family or grandkids or whatever. So I'm assuming that it's going to be RSVP at least 2 people. So some people will bring more, some people bring less, right? So I'm figuring, as it is now, if everybody who's interested comes and they bring somebody, we're looking at 200 to 300 people at about, right? That's a pretty good size for an event, right? Just a family gathering, right? That's a pretty good size. Now, if it doubles, then the place that we're planning on holding it, parking is going to get out of control. Camping is going to get out of the size of that many people in one area is going to get out of control. It's going to become unmanageable, right? Now, if we had our own private beach with our own private house, and only staff, volunteers in the house, right? And that would mean somebody at the door, literally somebody at the door, waving people in. There's not enough going on in here. You need a bathroom. There's a toilet over there. And it's going to have to be like that. If we get past a certain amount of people, it just has to be set up, that if you want in the house for any reason, you have to put your name on this list, right? Or you got to volunteer. If you're a volunteer, then you have access to the house so many times a day. Okay, you're during your shift, before and after your shift, you have access to the house, period. Right? You have an hour-long shift, you got an hour before and an hour after, right? To use the house. Now we cut down, we have lists, okay, well you're in the house now, you've got an hour to do whatever you're going to do in the house, you got the kitchen, you got the bathroom, you got the couch, whatever you want to do. All right? And so many volunteers in, so many volunteers out. More out than in. It's just, it's got to be set up so that it works so well that people have no choice but to want it to happen again. How did it work? Can we get it to do this again? How do we, and I'll try to keep track of everything and how everything is done, so that if it works, and we can do it again. If it don't work, we can change it where it needs to be changed. A notebook filled with all the information of everything going on. Muy importante. Record keeping, right? That's probably one of the most important parts of all of this, is going to be record keeping. Totally. Okay. So we're still looking for a place to hold this thing. We're still looking for tour help. People to help with junior high and high school tours. People to help with hometown tours. That means a complete trip around the lake with stops off at different places and photo ops. The high school and junior high tours, if those are set up, those will be straight to the high school and or junior high. Boom, boom, that's it. From one to the other, maybe. But we're going to need lots of help with, maybe a bicycle tour, motorcycle tour, a hiking tour, a trip up to the Ortegas, to the first campground there, the lookout, that kind of thing, right? So we need people familiar with the area, with the vehicle set up to take people out and do that kind of stuff. Hopefully I'll have my van there and working, and it can hold 2, 4, 6, 7 people in my van, and there are people with bigger vans. They can hold more people. We can also look into renting a vehicle for the day to go out and do tours around town, right? So, yeah, we still need lots of volunteers for this. There's lots of stuff going on. We're going to have lots of people, lots of entertainment, lots of special guests, people showing up that are going to be totally unexpected to everybody else. It's going to be pretty crazy. The main concern I think I have is going to be the stage and the lawn. And even if we get a house that's got a good patio, if the patio location doesn't work for a bunch of people, then we're going to have to build a stage and put a lawn. I've seen a few places on vacation rental sites along the lake that have big giant beaches and lake access and a big giant house, but we're talking mega bucks. Now, if we know somebody who knows somebody who has one of these places, we need to get us a discounted price for a week stay at one of these places. And if not a week, at least for the 4 days that we're going to be there. You know, we can get there early one day and set up the stage and be ready for the night, and then the next day, work everything else out. But camping with a house or camping at a campground, right? It has to be at the lake, period. It has to have the lake as the backdrop for this whole event, because you got to have the lake here and the Ortega Mountains here. That's the whole thing, From Elsie on the water to the E on the mountain. It's got to be that. It's got to be set up like that. If we're in Lakeland Village on the lake, that's great. If we're on Riverside Drive on the lake, that's great. If we're on Lake Street on the lake, that's fine. But we have to be on the lake. There's no other way to do this. There are a few other places down Grand Avenue and down toward the south end of the lake that might work, but few, There are a few campgrounds that might work if it's small, but it's got to be, it has to be set up for at least a couple hundred people. If we raise enough money to pull this off for a couple of hundred people and only a few dozen show up to take advantage of everything that's been donated to, well, that's the way it is. That's the way it happens. But we're going to pull it off so that the next year it's going to be hundreds of people. Sometimes the first run doesn't pan out exactly the way you want it to be. It's just the way it is. Yep. That's just the way it is. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Oh, I hear dogs. They want to get out and bark. All right, I'll be right back. Don't nobody go nowhere. Okay, dog out. Dog out. Out of one room and into the other. Oh. Okay, so shirts. I think what I'll do this morning is I'll grab some breakfast, and rather than take a nap, there goes the other dog. I'll grab some breakfast, have a shower, and then just go out to the t-shirt place. If my wife has something to do, then I'll just go with her and help her, and then we'll both go over. All right, let me get these dogs. I'll be right back. Okay. Those dogs. Nah, I got up and had jackpot bladder and had to go take a leak. But those dogs, man, they just go out and bark at anything. They'll probably do it again. I'll probably hear one scratching at a door here in a minute. Let me in, let me out, let me do something, let me annoy you. God, I love them. They ask me why I'm such a hairy guy. I'm morning, noon, and night. Yeah, that's a fright. I'm hairy high and low. Don't ask me why, I don't know. It's not for lack of bread, like the Grateful Dead, Mama. Yeah. Oh, and there's a dog sniffing at the door. Telling you, this dog is up and down, up and down. What are you gonna do, right? Well, crap. The later it gets, the more I gotta get my act together here. Boy. What if? I hate what ifs. People always say, what if this, and what if that, and what if this was... It's like, what if you were intelligent? I'm like, you know... Give me a break. What if? Okay. Shower will wake me up. Okay. Okay. I think, do I want to make actual tickets for the reunion? I think I do. I think I want actual tickets for the event. Not the ones that you print out, but actual tickets for each day. Right? So when you donate your money for your shirt or your ticket, you actually get a shirt and a ticket that can be stubbed and then kept as a souvenir, right? Something with some really elaborate design, and something that's printed so that it can't be easily duplicated by somebody with a printer at home, right? It's like, no, that's not one. They have to look like this and feel like this and be perforated like this, which means having them printed, right? I don't know. I just think as much of this that can be taken away as a souvenir should be, you know, I mean, there's not just going to be photographs, but there's going to be a photo booth and yearbook photos, right? And a yearbook produced from those photos. And then given for donation. So as much, you know, and then t-shirts and maybe stickers and pins and hats and that kind of stuff if we can get that far. I wouldn't expect a whole lot past t-shirts this year. T-shirts and then maybe yearbooks a few months after. Because if we can come up with yearbooks a few months after with more shirts and start doing more donations, then we can just snowball it to the next year and do it again. And if I ain't around, pass it off to somebody who can handle it. But somebody who's responsible enough to make sure that it's going to happen. If it's going to happen, then make sure it's going to be done right. Basically, I just want to see a handful of people, you know, and the only way to get them together is to have them want their other friends there to get together, right? So it just kind of creates this, well, I want them there, but they're not going to be there unless these people are there, so let's invite them, and then let's invite them so that these people will come. And that's just pretty much how it's hopefully going to work out. You know, invite who you want to see there, right? And then tell those people to do the same so that everybody's going to want to come. I'm like, oh, there's so many people coming, right? I mean, there are a lot of people who still live in the area down there in Southern California, in that area, who are probably just dying for people to come back to the hometown area for a visit, right? And I hope that this is cause for a lot of people to get together, you know, because like I've said before, it ain't for me. This ain't my party. It's your party. I'm just the guy trying to make it happen because it's, you know, the little bit that's for me is for me. Make that little bit for you, and make it happen for that little bit that's for you, and for that little bit that's for somebody else. You know, let's make it happen for that, for the little one inside of all of us that want, you know, to have this. What would be really cool is if we were able to extend it a day and do an early bird Thursday night barn party or Murietta Madness party or something, where it's like, okay, now we're going to go old school. We found a place with a barn. We're going to put a fucking stage in it. We're going to have a bunch of bands show up, and we're going to tap a keg, and we're going to do that. Right? That would be cool. Or a beach party, right, the day after. Yep. Telling you. It's just, you know, I'm just one guy, but I can spitball so much of this out that I see it as it's going to be, you know. It doesn't take too much imagination, you know, to put this all together, to take all of the pieces and to create a picture, you know. And I kind of work in bursts. It's like, all right, I stew for a while and I ferment and I cogitate, and then all of a sudden, boom, I knock out a bunch of shit, and then I kind of ease up, and then I kind of run off in another direction for a while and work on something, and then I build up steam, and I come back and I hit this again, and that's just the way I work, you know. And as we get closer and closer, the down times in between those bursts are going to be less, and those bursts are going to last a lot longer. And then that last burst is going to be like a week long during August. So if I can get my brother and or one or two other people to come and hang out and work on a lot of this stuff, getting, you know, all of the logistics nailed down. The stage alone, and the stage set, and the dressing, and the lighting, and everything is such a huge undertaking, right? But it's going to take a half dozen to a dozen people to pull it off, right? It really is going to take a lot of doing. So the more we do ahead of time, the better off we are, right? So if I can get a good bunch of bull sessions going together with a few different people and work a lot of this out, and then get everything down in the book, right? The reunion book, the book that says everything about what's going on, what's happening, what we need, the budget, the map, the different locations, the tours. You know, I want everything down so that I just want it to work, you know? I just want it to work. I don't feel like I have anything to prove to anyone, nor to myself. I mean, I know I can do this. It's just a matter of how many people are gonna wanna, right? That's it. It just comes down to that. How many people are gonna wanna? I mean, a lot of people wanna. What are they gonna really wanna? There's probably a lot of people just kind of sitting back, watching, going, "Yeah, I don't know if this is gonna work." And once it gets halfway there, people are going to really go one way or the other, right? Some people aren't going to come just for the reason that it's in California. I'm just saying. And that's kind of a bummer that people are going to, I'm not going, fuck California, right? And that would be a bummer. That would be unfortunate if people's geopolitical bullshit spills over into their nostalgia, right? That would be a bummer. Because there are a lot of people who don't live in California. Most of the people who we want to be here do not live in California. So it's going to be a matter of how badly do they want to see all of these people and to have a part in this event, you know, versus their distaste for California. I get it, right? I don't live here for political reasons, right? I'm sure a lot of people don't live here because of political reasons or financial reasons. I just live here because I was born and raised in Southern California, and this is kind of where I'm going to go out, right? So that's why I'm here, right? I've been other places. I've lived other places. We came back to Southern California so I could raise my daughter as a native California, because it's where she was born, you know. And to hell with all the peripheral bullshit. If you let it get to you, it's going to get to you. You know, yeah, it's a little more expensive to live here. Change your lifestyle so you can adjust to that. I mean, if not, then move somewhere else where, you know, you can pay less to live and have more money to spend on other shit. I don't care. Whatever the deal is, whatever your reasons are. You know, I don't like their politics in California. Well, me neither. That's why I don't follow politics. I don't like the politics anywhere. I'm not going to run from it. It's just going to follow you. Now you're going to be programmed to like these politics. Fuck it. I just don't go in for that. You know, and if you allow that bullshit to get into your want to come to the reunion, oh man, I feel sorry for you. And I feel sorry for all those people who want to fucking see you like myself, you know. That sucks. You won't be here because of what? Well, that sucks. That's stupid. So don't look at it. Don't think about it. Jeez, don't let it fuck with you. Realize that you're going to have to spend a little bit more money on gas. You're going to have to do this. You're going to have to do that. There's going to be some changes for a little while you're here. Deal with it like an adult and move on, right? But come to the fucking party. Jeez. Don't let the bullshit keep you away from friends and family and people who want to fucking see you. You know, and in that respect, don't let the bullshit between people keep you from coming. It's just bullshit. That shit ain't even allowed anyway. You know, if you're going to come, you're going to come because you want to see people, not because you want to harp on people for past bullshit, right? You'll be escorted out of the place so quick. Are you really still harping on people about something they did? Get the fuck out of here. Get the fuck out of here. Go on. Here's your money back. Go away. You know? You know what? You don't even get your fucking money back. It was a donation. Fuck you. Go away. I don't have any time for that bullshit. Nobody has room for that bullshit, right? It's bullshit. Leave it at home. You want to be a bullshit artist? Leave your bullshit art kit at home. That's it. There's no reason for that shit. You know, I'm even going to have a shirt made that says that. Keep your bullshit at home. Right? There goes the trash man. Can you make it? Around the tree. Didn't break any branches. There you go. It's a trash man. It's a trash man. Oh, it's a trash man. It's a trash man. Uh-oh. Yeah. Sympathies. Yeah. Just chilling out. Just chilling out. Yeah. I kind of wish that people who were going to the reunion or considering going to the reunion would show up here more. Well, you know what I think I'll do is I'll do a reunion show. Okay, so let me do a reunion show once a week. One day a week. And we'll talk about Elsinore nostalgia. We'll talk about donations. We'll talk about the event. We'll talk about the entertainment. We'll talk about possible entertainment ideas. We'll try to get people to come in and have some back and forth about the event. We'll hold it at a time where people are available, right? Throwback Thursday, maybe we'll do it on a Thursday night. Thursday nights at 8. We'll do, well, we can't do it too late. 8 o'clock is 10, 11 o'clock on the East Coast, so that's too late. So maybe 6 o'clock, 6 or 7, 7, 8, 9, 10. That's still pretty late, right? So if I go and do a nighttime nonsense and nostalgia show at 5, and then get off of that and start another stream for the reunion show, and then we talk about the reunion, right? And I can share it on the I Grew Up in Elsinore site, and we can get people over to come in, give their input, hang out, suggestions, ideas, people that they want to be there, have a kind of a format for people to discuss the whole thing, right? That'll probably help. It'll be a way for me to show the shirts, for me to give event information and updates, and we can just do a little 1 hour or maybe a 30-minute show. Maybe we'll do a 30-minute show, 6:30 to 7, right? That would be 9:30 to 10 Eastern time, right? That's not too bad. Any earlier and I interfere with drive time, people getting off work here on the West Coast, and any later and I interfere with people going to sleep and late night stuff. You know, you're going to have to put down Murder, She Wrote and switch the channel. Okay. I can also have guests, call-in guests on the show, because I can do that. Let's do that. Let's do that. I can have people on the show who are going to be there, people who want people to be there, people who are entertainers, I can have them on. I can do so much. Okay, so I need to put together some opening and closing for the show. I need to put together some graphics, some titles. I need to figure out how to get stuff from my audio video mixer to accentuate my images. Okay, so there's a new fun project, a new thing to throw myself into that's actually a part of everything that I'm doing. It's a part of the YouTube stuff, part of the event stuff, part of my creative thing here. So that's another good one. I like that. I like it. I like it. I like it. I like it a lot. Let's see. So I'll put together a book, and then we'll use that book as kind of the guide for the show. And then each episode will have a countdown day. So many days until the event, right? It'd be nice if I could set up a timer clock so that during the show it's ticking away, you know. It's 200 and some odd days and so many hours and so many minutes and so many seconds away, you know. Yeah. Okay. So I've been looking for another kind of episodic show to put myself into, and I think this is a good first because it element-wise, material-wise, it takes care of itself, right? All I'm doing is discussing the reunion, the event. So I can just bring up elements of that and discuss them. All right, look, today we're going to talk about volunteers. Today we're going to talk about entertainment. Today we're going to talk about cuisine, whatever. You know, and we're going to give updates on other things that we've discussed. Yeah. And it'll be a way for every week to do a commercial on the shirts, because I'm going to add a shirt or two a month until we get to the event, and then at the event there'll be special shirts only available at the event, and then after the event you'll be able to buy them for more donation money. Right? Okay. Now we're cooking. Oh, look, and it's almost time to go. That means I gotta get my shit together and go look at shirts. I'm gonna do shirts. Yeah, I'm excited. It's hard to get through the pain enough to get excited about stuff. And this is great. This has got my creative juices flowing. It's got my reunion juices flowing. I'm all excited about shirts. Getting geared up. All right, so I'm going to put together I might even put together a first show for this week. Since we're about a week after or so, about a week or so after the actual event that's going to take place next year. So, yeah, let's do a countdown. I need like a countdown PNG, something that I can pop up on my screen over and have it counting down. Okay, here's the countdown clock, and maybe keep a countdown clock active. How do I do a countdown clock and keep it active on my screen all the time? Right? How do I set a date and time in the future and count down to that? Somebody got any ideas? Hook me up. Hook me up, because I want it hanging on the screen there somewhere. And maybe I'll put it on all of my shows if I can figure out how to do that, how to set up a countdown clock set for that date and that time, and have it constantly running through all of my shit. How? Computer people, hello. You know what? I'm going to have to contact Dennis. He is the singer and coordinator guy for the Thieves Like Us band, the 80s band. And they're IT guys. They're tech people. They're engineers and stuff. So I need to maybe contact him and say, look, can you help me out with a few of these elements for my channel? Right? Yeah. All right. I am going to wrap it up because I'm getting too pumped up about stuff. So I need to get on. I need to get off the dime and get the ball rolling, get the show on the road. So let me boot up my end credits here while I bid a fond farewell to y'all. And I will be back this evening at 5 p.m. Pacific Standard Time for more nonsense and nostalgia in the nighttime. If you haven't seen the show, stop by and check it out. It's just fun listening and nostalgia. That's it. 1920s, 30s music, and me. And I play down the me part. So there you go. All right, people. I am so pleased that you were able to come and join me today. I will be back, like I said, at 5. And until then, be sure to be kind, be nice, spread peace, spread love. Go out and do something for yourself, but do something for somebody else as well. And most especially, stay weird, because if you ain't weird, who's going to do it for you, right? All right, love you, people. Adios.